to be commended, not only for remembering his fans, but also for remembering the community from which he came. We begin with the teachers at the neighborhood music school in East LA. The music this old house has heard. If the walls could speak, you would not only hear music, but also feel the spirit of young hearts and souls trying to reach notes that they themselves never thought they could reach. For over 80 years, the neighborhood music school has been providing music lessons to the public. Close to 30,000 students have come through the school. At the beginning, music lessons were offered for only 25 cents. Today, lessons are $7.50. They're given in a Victorian house that's over 100 years old. A house that was purchased by the music school's board back in 1947.
The school was actually founded by Irene Pearl Odell in 1914. She lived on Mozart Street, which was very appropriate for a music school. And of course, it was a neighborhood settlement at that time, and she ran it as a settlement. Immigrants that came in who took lessons were not only taught music, but they were taught English. At that time, there was a different atmosphere. Not many people had much of anything. In fact, the majority had very little. But there was always enough to give someone who had less. So that's how the new people were assimilated into the community.
So what does Pinocchio do?
Well, he dances.
And how does he act?
He acts like a...
I met a police officer that was involved with the Hollenbeck community relations. And we started talking, and I told him that I was a music teacher, and he says, oh, he says, we sure could use you, da-da-da-da, you know, and I sent a resume, and here I am. It was a comfortable situation. It was homey. It wasn't a school structure per se, you know, stucco building, that kind of thing. And when I went inside, I fell in love with the house, and I felt good in here. And that's how I work. A lot of places, I have to feel good where I go, and I did.
I had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me.
I enjoy every one of my students. I love them all. But Matthew, when you see him, he's just so animated. And you just fall in love with him when you watch him perform. And he also, too, didn't know anything about singing. He was just a little kid, and he just came in, and he was looking out the window and looking at his shoes, and you know, this kind of thing. But now he's very poised and a performer.
They called the music office at Cal State LA, where I work part-time and full-time, and they were looking for a violin teacher, so I came down and interviewed, and never asked how much they were paying, and got the job, and then I found out it was 75 cents a lesson, or $1.50 an hour. And then I was too embarrassed to say forget it, so I stuck around for a few months, and I figured I would just leave and not come back after Christmas vacation. But I've been here ever since 1964, and it's a great place. I really enjoy it. It's really a labor of love. It's a lot of fun, and luckily I have a full-time job, so I just come down on Thursdays and just enjoy myself.
Oh, and we have an oboist in the National Symphony in Washington, D.C. There was a piano dealer right here in Los Angeles, Kazimov. He attended the school and had a paper route and saved 50 cents to take his lessons. There was Eddie Bionis, who learned his instrument, learned it well enough to become a teacher here, and then go on and teach someone somewhere else. Pete Cordova played flute here and was involved in music all his life. And then, of course, there's the renowned John Browning, who will be featured at the Hollywood Bowl.
I'm going to be 19, and so I go to Loyola Marymount University. Once I got here, I kind of just wanted to indulge in everything that they offered here. So besides voice, I took guitar and I took piano lessons.
Baeza says, in her eyes, her voice teacher is definitely a star.
Oh, I love her. I've been with her for the last 4 years, and I remember that it was really hard for me to break out of myself, and I was very, very shy and a lot more timid. And I think that now she's really helped me to progress. And half an hour wasn't enough for me, so now I take an hour lessons, you know, once a week. And I really feel that she's just given me so much more confidence and so much more self-esteem to actually sing well.
We have one or two teachers that are teaching here now that were my students when they were kids, and now they're here teaching. And I think that's a neat thing when you look and see what you've done and how many lives you've touched and that kind of thing. It's fun.
With all the changes this neighborhood has seen, the neighborhood music school remains through the help of private donations and teachers who are stars in the eyes of their students. Next up, Gloria and Emilio Estefan.